Hi there. Welcome to today's market trends report for Prescott, Arizona. So in Prescott, how is it that inventory is going up but prices keep rising? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you all of the information. Prescott has experienced 3 months of consecutive price rises, even though we have rising inventory. Now, if you're thinking of buying or selling, this information I'm going to share is extremely important because the clickbait out there can be deceiving. You need to read past the headlines, and in this video, I'm going to give you the raw, unedited detail without filters trying to influence one point of view or another, to let you know exactly what is happening right now in the Prescott, Arizona real estate market. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you how you can get a customized report specific to the price point or zip code or area that you're thinking of buying and selling, and that can be delivered straight to your inbox. Okay, here we are. So as we were last month, we are still in what is considered a balanced market. Now, if you follow real estate across the state, you're going to see people saying flames and things are on fire, that we're in a buyer's market. And that is the case in some parts of the valley. But here in Prescott, the market is different. Our season's a little different. Our market's a little bit different. We are now where the weather is warming up. The flowers are blooming. Everything has started to defrost, and the festivals and all of the fun summer activities are going to begin. So we have increases in activity here just through tourism and other things that drive a lot of the market here in Prescott, Arizona. So we are currently sitting at 5.37 months supply. That's up 15% over last month. So as I mentioned, inventory is rising last month, and that is also what creates increases in months of supply. Now with this, sellers are still getting almost what they're asking for, with about 98% of list price ending up being the sold price. Now remember, sellers can decrease prices over time, but at the time that the property closes and the deal is done, usually that final price is very close to the list price. So sellers are still demanding what they're asking for in their listing, and that is the seller's balanced but slightly seller edge market that we are in here. So how long is it taking to sell a property in Prescott, Arizona? Well, it's just under a month. So half the houses sit a little bit longer, half sell faster. And from my personal experience, I tend to see houses sell very quickly if they're really pretty, if they're in a nice spot, if they have highly desirable amenities, and if the listing agent has hit the price right, they're sold pretty much within the first 3 weeks. Now, if any of those factors are off, if it needs some work, if somebody said, well, we're going to shoot high and see what we can get, well, those properties will sit sometimes for months, and it will wait till they have a price decrease or they're willing to negotiate before they go ahead and get that buyer. So how are home values doing in Prescott, Arizona? Well, this is aside from just the sales. This is with data analysis tool. It looks at a bunch of factors just to try to understand for every house out there, similar to a Zestimate. Don't shoot me for saying that, but similar to a Zestimate, what is the price? What is a home in Prescott worth? And that is up 3% over the past 12 months and just a hair up in this last month. In April of 2025, we had 288 new properties come on the market. That is 20% more than last month. But I'm going to say, don't despair, even though we have more inventory coming on. If we look at last year, this time, it was 235. So despite it being 20% month over month, that is typical for Prescott in this time of year. So let's go back here, and you can see this very sawtooth pattern in the listings, where here in December of 23, December 24, December 22 is when we hit the bottom. Nobody's listing their property in December. But then by the time we get to May or June, and remember, we're only in April, so number of listings should be going up again. Here, June was the peak in 21. June was the peak again in 2022. May, a little bit earlier in 2023, May in 24. Now here we are in April. So there's a good chance that the number of new listings is going to increase again next month, probably somewhere in the 300 range, and this increase is very typical. Now our total numbers are higher, if you can see here, between where our peak is and our valley was even a little bit lower than it has been the past few years. So overall levels of inventory are shifting up. Now despite that, the price at which these homes are listing is also increasing. So $767,000 is the list price, where half the properties are above and half the properties are below, and this is for new listings. listings. So let me here, there are our list prices. So we have kind of this very gradual slope up ever since 2021. There's been some peaks and some valleys, but overall, we're not seeing any form of trend other than a slight continual increase. So in Prescott, home prices are rising. Now, this is what's on the market. This is what is a new listing, but what really tells you where home prices are going are the sales. So let's scroll down and see those. Not pending, because that's just offers. Here, sold prices. Homes in Prescott, if you're willing to spend over $675,000, about half the homes in the market are going to be in your price range. That is that midpoint, half above, half below. Now, there are 104 properties that sold in April, and you'll see here we are a little bit up. So this is our continuous increase from the summer, and the same thing. You see those dips in the wintertime, things go up, more activity in the summer, and we are still continuing to get 98% of the sold price, and that has been very consistent. You can see over time when the market was going crazy, people were only getting about 2-3% over the list price, and now we've been sitting at this 98%, actually 96 to 98, or I'll say 96 and a half to 98 for the past several years. So there are some homes out there where you're going to see a huge bit of negotiation, but overall, in general, list prices are pretty close to what sellers are getting. So here is the 3 consecutive months of price increases. So you'll see in the past, we were from January, February, March, increases even into April. And here we had increases in the winter, and again, continuing on with the sawtooth pattern, but we are continuously trending just a little bit higher. I feel like these sold prices are going to stay slightly elevated from the overall last year. It is going to be held a little bit back by what's going on in the valley, where they're seeing a lot more inventory and they're seeing decrease in prices. So I think that will tend to hold Prescott a little bit closer just because of what's going on in the state overall. But remember, in Prescott, people are coming here. They're buying second homes, retirement homes, and those aren't fully in the same thought process or the same reasoning as what people are buying their primary homes in the rest of the state. So let's talk a little bit about supply, because if you took economics, you know supply and demand are what drives prices. And here in Prescott, our supply and demand, our supply is like a wave, and we are rising as we are in the spring of every year. So the bottom of the months of supply was at 4.1, but as more people list, the months of supply go up, and we suspect in another month or two it'll plateau. And as we approach the end of the summer, you can see here in September, October, November, it tends to go down as either properties sell or go off the market because a lot of buyers are exiting the area. So to recap and not get into a whole lot of nitty-gritty, Prescott market continues to follow along with much of the rest of Arizona and Yavapai County on a slight continual increase in home prices. We are seeing our new listings coming in $50,000 higher than they did in March of last year, where they were at about $725K, and this year they are in, March last month, when the typical listing was $725K, and this month it's $767K. You might have more of those luxury summer homes, things like that coming on the market, and that is what we're seeing here. So there you go. That's just a little tidbit about what's going on in the Prescott market this month in 2025, and realistically, there isn't a major change. There's nothing to worry about. There is no fire and brimstone. There's nothing crazy. What it's really about is when the timing is right for you. It's life changes, it's job changes, it's family changes, things like that that are going to drive when is the right time to buy or sell. But for now, Prescott seems pretty stable. So if you're looking to buy or sell, now is the time of the year where we just have more turn, more inventory, more buyers, more of everything. It's just a little bit bigger market than you're going to find in the winter. And I almost forgot how to get a customized version of this report. So my report is looking at single families, townhouses, townhouses, condos, all of Prescott from the north to the south, the east, the west, the whole area. I do have the ability with a click of a few buttons to customize this report. We can specifically look at different things I can put in here. Let's say in the market trends, I can go for a zip code. So let's say you're in 86303 or 305. I can go ahead and run these trends for you, and we can go ahead and focus. Let's take, as an example, the condos out and apply this to all charts. Now you can see if you have a single family home in 86305, your list is a little less favorable. It's a little closer to a buyer's market. Still in the balance, but trending a little bit on the buyer side. So to get this report customized for the type of home you're looking to buy or sell, please reach out. My contact information is below. Drop me a note and I'm happy to deliver with your zip code and your email address a PDF, this report customized just for you. So thank you so much for watching. I am Odessa Kyleman with the Prescott Homeowner and eXp Realty. Stay tuned for more home tours and great information about buying or selling here in Prescott, Arizona. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget the like and the subscribe for more videos like this.